So I watched Helluva Boss's third episode, Spring Broken, and I had a wonderful time. It was filled with action, romance, drama, also plenty of While I did love it though, I do have one or two criticisms. So in this review, I'll be taking a look at what I thought worked well about the episode, as well as what I thought didn't. Be warned, I will be delving into some spoilers. Before I do though, please don't forget to support my channel by subbing to it. If you're unfamiliar with my content, I do reviews, theories, and much more on animated shows such as Helluva Boss, which you should totally check out on my channel page after you finish watching this video.
Millie, just find a temporary spot for that truck. Okay, Looney, Moxxie, let's go handle this shit.
So, let's kick things off by starting with the characters. We got introduced to a ton of new and interesting characters, namely the succubi, which I believe are the third named hellborn species of demons we've seen so far. The star of the show though is Verosika Mayday, who is just super fucking hot. She reminds me a lot of Envy Adams from Scott Pilgrim, which is of course a very good thing. Plus she even got her own badass song.
This is your final boarding call. All aboard.
She was introduced well, and she's a ton of fun. I'm a big fan of mean, pretty, popular girls, and I really want to see more of her. In my opinion, Blitz got some really good character moments in this episode, and he was as funny as ever. I'm really looking forward to seeing more of his rivalry with Verosika in the future, as well as finding out more about his sister. Subtly placed mysteries like these really pique my interest. We also got to learn more about Blitz and Loona's relationship. It was cute to see Blitz being a doting father, and also completely tragic to see Loona's harsh rejection of him.
I didn't need you then, asshole! I don't now!
Ouch. Speaking of, it's great that we're getting more screen time for Loona, who honestly felt like she got neglected previously, both in the pilots and the previous 2 episodes. This episode made her feel much more interesting than I expected her to be, and this more complex, vulnerable side to her was fantastic to see. She was both relatable and likable. Now I'm totally on board for more episodes with her later on. I really hope she starts appreciating Blitz. He deserves some goddamn love. So, Loona spent the whole episode gawking over this hellhound called Vortex. And I don't blame her. I immediately fell in love with him the moment I saw him in the trailer, because my taste in men is tragic, and I'm going to hell when I die. I mean, to be with him. He was a total sweetheart, which I'm glad about, seeing as I'm a huge fan of big and tough dudes who are actually nice and sweet, yet could still murder you in an instant. It's sexy.
Yeah. I guess.
I'm glad about his human form being black, as it shows Viv kept her word about having more black representation in her content, and rep this good is so nice to see. I think we all wanted Ed Bosco to be voicing this dude, but no complaints here. One criticism I have about this episode is that the pacing was maybe a tad too fast for my liking. It felt like the show kept going from point to point without ever slowing down and explaining things, which honestly did leave me a bit confused at parts. I thought Loona in particular suffered from the pacing issue. Specifically, it would have been nice if they left time for Loona to reflect a bit about her argument with Blitz, as it felt a bit glossed over and like we could have done with a proper resolution between them. Now, I don't expect the overarching conflict there to be resolved anytime soon, but it did feel like a good opportunity to get the cogs whirring on that front was missed. It had the potential to be a pretty powerful and dramatic moment, yet nothing really came of it in the end. We also spent a lot of time on the Imp crew, which isn't a bad thing, yet I couldn't help but feel we missed out on exploring the succubi a little more. Considering the episode was our first ever introduction to them, which feels like a pretty big deal, the episode kind of pushed the succubi to the side. This is unfortunately even true for Verosika, who was set up to be the episode's antagonist, yet barely got any screen time as the episode went on. While I stand by the introduction being solid, she might have needed more fleshing out throughout the rest of the episode. It feels like even Tex got more exploration than her, which is weird as he was set up to be much more of a side character. I really hope Verosika gets more development in the future, although I'm sure that will be the case anyway. What was totally on point as per norm though was the comedy. I loved the show calling out the audience for being horny.
You know the kind of freaks up there who drool all over you.
I also really enjoyed Drunk Moxxie, especially when Millie is reaching out for his hand to save him, yet he just high-fives her. I need more Drunk Moxxie in my life.
A human called me a possum. I am not a possum.
If I'm talking about Helluva Boss, I clearly have to mention the absolutely fantastic animation, because it never fails to impress. The art team did such a terrific job, especially during the fight with the fish, which I found to be especially pretty due to the use of purples and pinks. It contrasted so nicely with the neon blue on the fish. The action too was just the best. I'm a big fan of Helluva Boss's gratuitous violence. It really doesn't hold back on the blood and gore, which is something you won't see out of many action-focused cartoons on TV. Something else that might otherwise go unnoticed by some are these amazing one-off character designs. It's really rare to see crowd scenes in animated shows with such diversity and thought behind each and every single person. Helluva Boss just went really above and beyond in this aspect, even despite the fact we'll probably never see these people again. You know, especially considering that they all died. All in all, this was another great episode, and while it perhaps didn't have as much heart and sentiment as episode 2, it was certainly just as entertaining. I don't think the issues I had with it were enough to truly hinder anybody's enjoyment, and I definitely recommend you check it out if you haven't already.
We fucking won!
Don't forget to leave a like if you enjoyed the video, comment down below with your thoughts in episode 3, and don't forget to subscribe. Also, I have a Discord server now. The link will be in the description, so feel free to join. See you next time.